Okay, so we should be going live. So you may see it showing also your end when we do. So it's showing that we are live on Facebook. So hooray, well done us. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Sarah Estelle of sarahestelle.com. I'm joined today by Rebecca Millar, who is a graduate, or what I actually like to call nowadays a flower ambassador of the Essentially Flowers Diploma in Flower and Vibrational Essences. So thank you for joining me, Rebecca. Thank you. As always.
Hello.
Just sharing your experience, because that's really what it's about. The Diploma in Flower and Vibrational Essences has been running now since something like 2012. So we have now over 60 graduates, which is very, very exciting. And before we actually went live, Rebecca and I were changing about we were talking, and we didn't come up with any figure about how many people are needed to do this work before we can really start to see a change in the world. But of course, all change starts within, doesn't it?
Absolutely,
and
yes.
That's kind of what brought you to Essences, which is the same for all of us. That's how I began as well. I turned to Essences to help myself. So can you remember the first time you took an essence?
Oh, yes, I can actually. I'd had my first child. She can't have been very old. And in the little village where I used to live in Hampshire, there was an old-fashioned pharmacy. And then on one of the ends of the counters, there was this little rack of these little tiny bottles, which absolutely fascinated me. And I kept looking at them, wondering what they did. And they was, I don't know, just, when you get really intrigued by something, I had to find out what they were. And I picked up this little leaflet and I found out they were called the batch essences. And as I was reading through, I decided that I think it was the walnut essence was the first one. Walnut and olive were the ones that I used. Walnut to help me make that change to going from a single person with a partner to this small baby, and olive because I was absolutely knackered, and the writing said it would help me find my energy again. So I must have used those for a bit, and then didn't really use any more until must have been about 3 or 4 years later. I was working with a homeopath to help me deal with depression and alcohol dependency. And she happened to mention the batch essences. And as I was trained in horticulture, I think she thought I might be interested in them. And so I had a look at the essences and I was like, these are the little bottles. So I started having a look into them and just completely and utterly blown away, fascinated by all things flower essences. It was like I'd found this whole new world and I needed to know so much more.
I understand. Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me as well. It's like, you mean there's more?
There's more, and there were lots more everywhere.
I know, it's amazing. So by that time you were presumably did your homeopath prescribe essences to you?
No, she didn't. She was actually a tutor at a homeopathic college, and she taught a small sort of module on the batch essences. But she intuited that I would be able to actually find my own way, which I did. And it opened up this amazing journey for me, really.
So before you connected with me regarding taking part in the diploma, had you taken essences again since that walnut and olive?
Yes, I'd taken some essences from the Lightbringer range. That was the first, when I sort of contacted Mr. Google and put in flower essences, for some reason the Lightbringers came up, that are created by Rachel Singleton. But she'd actually just finished doing her diploma. And yours was the next one that I came along, and I was like, aha, I can do some training and find out more about essences. So I contacted you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you then embarked on a journey, a deep journey, our soul knows the way, our soul knows what we need. The diploma that I facilitate I always like to describe it as a journey rather than a piece of paper.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think any qualification in flower essences is going to have a journey element to it. But this one, I had no idea when I started the diploma just what was coming through. So you began the diploma. So what shifted for you while you were with us?
Well, just prior to starting the diploma, my middle child, who was just 7, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And so when I started the diploma, I was a complete wreck, actually. But as a parent of a diabetic child, you have a constant worry about them. And the biggest change, I think, for me through working through the diploma was to let go of that worry about my daughter, and to let go of all the ifs and buts and whats, of all the, my mind just churning all the time. So those two things were just absolutely key to me as I went through even the first 5 modules, I think, really. Just to let go of that worry and to go back to enjoying life, but finding the clear thinking to be able to deal with her condition, really. So I think that was one of the major things for me.
Well, that in itself is such a blessing, isn't it? Clearly for you, but for her too, because obviously her life and your family life is massively supported by your energies as a mother. And taking care of yourself in this way is such a gift to your family.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I feel quite emotional saying that, actually. It's a huge gift.
It's a huge gift, and the one thing that the other thing that essences have given me is the confidence to know that I can look after myself and put myself first, and that it's like really important. And so essences for me are like one of the most important things for me to be able to, because I'm a single mum now, to be able to look after my 3 children and myself. And without them, I don't know where I'm not even going to go thinking about where we'd be, really. So yeah, the essences have given us the best quality of life, really.
Wow.
And I think also, my daughter's just gone to senior school, and it's been noted and remarked back to me how level-headed she is and how calm she is. Obviously, in a senior school, there are, they come across diabetics who are more or less able to cope with their condition, and she's on it, and she's calm, and she's really with it. And again, I without the essences, and she takes essences as well, so without me being calm, I don't think she would be in that place as well.
Wow. So I hadn't heard that part of it, but that is amazing how it's unfolding. Yeah. It's truly this is how essences truly change our lives. So
totally,
really lovely to hear that, because so many people, and it's what you shared as well, I took olive, I took walnut, didn't really change very much, all this kind of thing. It's how it is for all of us. And yet essences, when they're taken in longer term ways with support, are one of the, I believe, and I know you believe this too, one of the main forces for change on our planet.
Oh, definitely. And I see it in my clients as well. Yeah.
So, well, let's talk about that a little bit as well, because as a result of this, you're finding, and with any business, it's a journey, you're finding a direction to help others. So tell us a little bit about that.
I have clients come to see me with various emotional issues. I think realistically, if I look at the bottom part of, you know, why they come to me, it's probably very similar to me. You know, too much of the brain going on and getting sort of whooshed around by all the things in life. And so my wish for them is to take them out of their busy heads and then sort of down into their heart spaces, where they can live more peacefully and interact with the world on a very different level. It's such a, I'm not quite sure the word to say. It's not so much peaceful, joyful, peaceful, just a very lovely place to be. Rather than that scattered, being buffeted around by, you know, everything that comes at you. And just to see this change in clients is so lovely, so lovely.
It is. It is one of the most beautiful things to do, to see it in others. But of course, we always need to start ourselves, don't we? So it starts with us.
Yes.
It starts with us. Yeah. So for anybody who may be watching this either live or via the replay, please do connect with us. Please do say hello to us. Please do share how listening to Rebecca's shift helps you, because that's the reason why we're doing this today, to inspire people to open themselves up to nature. So you've also got your own range of essences now, haven't you?
I have, yes. I was never gonna make my own essences.
That's what they'll say.
Quite happy to use up all the essences from all the other ranges that I met in your diploma, but then along came some essences, and I have some, because I'm a single mum of 3 and I'm very busy, and I'm very direct, and I have some a group of essences that are combinations that they do what they say on the tin, basically. So, you know, simple things like frazzle free and nurturing me, things that have been part of my own journey, but I think are really important to anyone who wants to find a better way of life, really, to find a better way of being in this world.
That's the words, isn't it? A better way of being in this world, with all our imperfections, you know, with all our human bits and bobs. We've all got them. Accepting that.
Oh, essences certainly enable you to accept, to acknowledge, and then either to work with, or just to let be, you know, your own imperfections, really. And I think if you don't concentrate on them in a negative way, you can actually find a positive way of being in the world with your own imperfections.
Absolutely. Which is, absolutely. It's where the magic comes in, when we just allow our own selves to shine. So thank you, Rebecca. It's actually been really nice, because I haven't chatted to you for a while, to hear how this is unfolding for you and how your daughter is now doing so well with everything that's going on for her. That is cool. And, you know, I can see through your face as well how that reflects back for you. So as I shared at the beginning, whenever you're watching this, whether it is live today at the end of October 2019 or at a different date, if you're sitting on the fence for any reason and you're wondering if this is the diploma and the right journey for you, do you have anything you'd like to share, Rebecca?
If flower essences have, sorry, my phone's going off. If flower essences have called you, have made you know you're interested in them, it is the most wonderful journey to take. I met so many different essence ranges through the diploma. I learned about so many different energies and how they affect me. Oh, I'm sorry, this is
Your camera's gone
lots
off.
of things happening on my, there they are. Yeah, it really was the most wonderful journey. And how do I say, when you first spoke to me at the beginning, you said, are you ready for change? And I had absolutely no idea what you meant by that. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm ready for change. I don't want my life to be like this anymore. There's no way I could tell you. I couldn't have envisaged how my life would be like now. I couldn't have understood how different my way of thinking is, how different my way of being in the world is. It's really hard to put into words, but yeah, if you're thinking about doing the diploma, just go for it, because you won't regret it. It's amazing, really amazing journey. Yeah. And the support's great.
Yeah, it is great. We have lots of amazing supporters. Yeah, not just the nature kingdom, some human supporters as well. Yeah. Well, thank you. Your beautiful face, I think, shares as much as your words does. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing your journey with others. And yeah, I'll speak to you again. Maybe we can make a date for another year or so and see again.
See what's
the
changed.
Next installment is. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Nice to speak.
Bye-bye.
Bye.